Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to start the second half of the football game tonight. The Wildcats find themselves down 21-7. Jake, number 19, Huckleby, seems to be the difference right now. He is making all the plays for the Farmington team, and the Wildcats just don't have an answer for him yet.
Yeah, no doubt about it, JR. Huckleby has been nonstop the whole half. He's been the go-to player all game. Just first down after first down, big gains, breaking tackles, and scoring points. There's a touchdown by another player on the Hawks, but Huckleby has been the majority of their offense.
Yeah, he certainly has. And coming into the game, the scouting report was that the Hawks had great speed. They were a little bit undisciplined, but they were a running team with outstanding foot speed. And they've shown that so far. They've definitely done that. They've stayed poised, though. They haven't lost their composure, and that's what the Wildcats are going to need to do, put a little pressure on them. So we're going to start the second half here. Wildcats are kicking the ball. Looks like Josh Nelson to boot it. Weather has stayed pretty dry. Starting to get a little sprinkle here and there. Nelson kicks the ball all the way back into the 1 yard line. Number 2 with the ball for Harrison. Breaks it around the outside, making some nifty moves. The Wildcats look like they had him pinned in, but number 2, Doran Fields, just made some outstanding moves running the ball.
That was just a great effort there by Dorian Fields. He seemed like he had nowhere else to go and gained another 20 yards.
Absolutely. Gets the ball out over the 30 to the 32, 33-yard line. That's where Harrison will take over, 1st and 10. Harrison, the only time we stopped him in the first half was on a pass interception by Wellington. So going to be interesting to see if Wellington, where he's at. He was a little bit banged up there at the end of the first half.
Absolutely. If the Wildcats want to stay in this game, they're going to have to start creating more turnovers.
Huckleby with another 4-yard gain, no question there. I'm looking to try to find that number 10 for the Wildcats. 4-yard gain on the play. Huckleby, no surprise there. Wellington is not in on defense right now. He looks fine on the sidelines. I'm sure he'll be quarterbacking, so just taking a little bit of that pressure off him, holding him out on defense. So Harrison comes to the line. 11 minutes to go here, second half, third quarter. Brand to Huckleby. Huckleby to the outside with room. Huckleby caught from behind, fumbled, and it looks like Harrison got on it. No, they give it to the Wildcats. Wildcats, who come out of there with a number 27. That's Scott. He's did it again.
Right on cue.
Stubenrock.
We've been saying that name a lot, maybe because it's fun to say, maybe because he's been making plays.
Well, he's been in on everything. He's been in on kick returns. He's been in on defense. He's been in on offense. And there he made a fumble recovery. And,
the Oxford ball, 1st and 10 at the Hawks.
Again because somebody came from behind and caused that fumble.
And just as I was saying, if Oxford wants to stay in this game, they have to start creating turnovers. And right on cue, Stubenrock.
Well, in a great field position. The ball on
ball.
Harrison's 49-yard line. Let's see what happens here. Wellington hands the ball off to Logan. I'm assuming it was Logan.
Number 19.
It was Liam Logan for a 1-yard gain. Logan ran hard in the first half, but only had 1 turnover. But everything he got was hard. He didn't get any easy runs. There's no question there. 10:30 to go here in the third quarter. Wildcats down 21-7. Oxford Community TV bringing you, with the assistance of Oxford students on the cameras, tonight's game against Farmington Hills Harrison, Oxford Wildcats. Wellington, around the right side, keeps the ball, puts his head down and pushes, gets the ball over the 45-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Wellington showing his toughness there, going around that right side and putting his head into a bunch of tacklers.
Tough yards, but there was yards. So that does bring up about a 3rd and 6 they marked it at. Be a big conversion here for the Wildcats if they can get this.
Well, the Wildcats on their scoring touchdown drive went for it twice on 4th down, and I'm sure they probably have that same mindset here. I'm sure they'd like to get it here, though. Wellington, number 10. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, has a nice wide open receiver. That's Marty Gianola showing great hands and holding on to the ball, and that'll be a first down.
Spectacular
nice job,
catch by
Gianola. Now, the nice thing about Gianola on that play, he knew where the first down marker was, got downfield. When he turned it, he was still far enough downfield to get the first down.
As soon as he put his hands on that ball, was laid out by a defender, still able to hold on to it and bring it down. Great
Outstanding catch by Marty Gianola. Good throw, too, by Wellington. Wellington fakes the handoff.
Another
Rolls,
play
got
action.
time. Got a wide open receiver. Did it throw it long enough? Didn't throw it long enough.
That was Gianola, intended receiver. Again, had two men beat. If he could get a little bit more strength on that throw, that could be a 14-21 ball game.
Well, and again, he's throwing across his body, and he got great pressure. They were getting pressure to him, so he threw it maybe just a little bit earlier than he wanted to, but certainly that play was there.
Fortunate to not throw another interception there, as two Farmington Hills Harrison players right in that general area.
2nd and 10, 9:12 to go, ball in the 37-yard line. Wellington inside handoff. Running hard is number 45, Zach Adorn.
The ball carrier. Making the tackle, number 19, Eddie Huckabee.
Huckabee on the tackle there.
Play.
First time we've called his name when he's been on defense. Eddie Huckabee, been an outstanding, had an outstanding game on offense. Wildcats find themselves 3rd and 8. Ball on their 30, on Harrison's 35-yard line. I think the Wildcats have had more pass plays in this game than the season so far. Straight ahead running, wide open, nice run. Nice blocking at the point of attack. Kyle Reason, number 32, with the carry.
That was a really nice run there. You know, I think Farmington Hills kind of thought that they were going to pass it there, and they found an opening right up the middle and had a solid gain.
Well, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. Wellington still got a little limp in his giddy up there, showing how tough he is, staying in the ball game. So Wildcat players are urging the crowd to get up for this play. This is a big play right here, 4th and 1. Wildcats with the ball, 3rd quarter. 21-7, they're down, 7:50 to go. Straight ahead running, that's number 45, Zach Adorn, pushing the pile.
This will be close,
Number
JR.
45.
No, he got it
Zach
easy,
Adorn, number
no
2.
question. Shades of Prescott and Zach Line on that run, right there. Good hard-nosed football. That's what you call pounding the rock, Oxford football style.
First down, Oxford. Ball spot, the Hawks, 26.
7:45 to go. Wildcats convert on another 4th and 1. That's 3 out of 4 they've done today. 1st and 10, ball on the 26-yard line. Wildcats, Wellington under center. Straight ahead. Nope, Wellington pulled it out and then pitches it late. Kyle Reason picks up the fumble. Reason with a nice play. Good poise on Reason's part. Little risky there on Wellington's part.
A little risky to say the least. Looked like a designed play to pitch it back to him. Just didn't work out his plan, but it ended up
Well,
being beneficial.
Yeah, Reason just took his time, squared up the ball, picked it up, and advanced it, and got the first down. So nice job by Kyle Reason stepping into that backfield, giving it a little bit of a different pace in the backfield from what we were doing earlier.
Well, another first down for the Wildcats on the 12-yard line.
Wildcats 1st and 10 on the 12. Reason on the outside. Reason with a good burst of speed. Kyle Reason, the junior, stepping up large here in this drive. Takes the ball all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Very nice gain there by Reason, putting him right in striking zone.
Makes it a 2nd and 5, real manageable situation. Reason just showing some outstanding speed with a little bit of a different pace than Logan. Logan was running the ball well. Reason just seems to have a little spark in that offense. Hadorn the up back, Reason the deep back. They go to Reason. Reason over the left side, following his blockers. Gets over the 5, down to the 4. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Number 15, Devin Cook.
3rd down, they're going to mark it at the 5, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 3.
Third down.
6
and
minutes
3.
to go here in the third quarter. Again, the Wildcats on a long, sustained drive, primarily on the ground, keeping that clock running. Our best defense is having a rock-solid offense. 3rd and 3. Wellington looks over the D. Logan back in with a block. Logan pushing hard. Logan all the way down to the 1-yard line, down to the 6-inch line. Would be denied.
Wow.
But what a run by Logan. He hit that hole hard. If it weren't for a Farmington Harrison guy closing the door at the last minute, that gives the Wildcats 1st and goal from the 1-foot line.
They're going to just try to jam it in.
There's Logan on the outside.
There it
Logan
is.
for a touchdown. Leon Logan, number 19. What a great drive by the Wildcats. Recovering a fumble at the 50-yard line and just marched the ball downfield to make the score 21-13. 5:28 to go. Nice drive by the Wildcats. Reason, Logan doing the job, and a couple nice pass plays there by Wellington. Great calls on the offensive game plan by the coaches there, mixing it up. Non-Oxford looking football, but then a lot of Oxford looking football in there.
Yeah, it was an excellent drive. First started by forcing the turnover. Now they're right back in this ball game, 14-21 Wildcats.
Absolutely.
Down by only 7 now.
Josh Nelson boots the extra point through the uprights, so that breaks the score, like Jake said, 21-14. Wildcats find themselves in this ball game. The turnovers are the key thing. When you can get that ball, stop this Harrison team from driving. We've got an awesome opportunity to hang with these guys. This is one of the teams that when Oxford came into the OAA, they said they can't play with Lake Orion. They can't play with Harrison. They can't play with Adams. They're too good. Oxford's too small a school. Well, you know what? We beat those guys. We beat Lake Orion last year. We got a blue turf that's bringing magic to Oxford football. And you know what? We beat Adams. So we're hanging with the best teams in the OAA. And we're getting better. We're young. Wait till Wellington's a senior. Wait till Reason's a senior. Wait till Lyons is senior. We got a lot of young ball players making things happen on this team. Nice high kick by Josh Nelson. Billy Greenshoes. Nice job right there by the Wildcat kick return team. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that fired up Wildcat team. This crowd is getting on their feet. They're getting fired up. Wildcats.
Starting to feel the energy now, JR. These Wildcats are, exactly like you said, pumped up. Now they just need to get a strong defensive stand here.
Absolutely. That was number 14, Nathan Brubaker, who scored a touchdown earlier, making a big hit and a big play on the kick return team, or kick cover team. The 13-yard line. Now let's see what Harrison does when they don't have great field position.
6'9", 4'6", 5'6".
That's a good point there, JR. This is the first time they haven't had significantly well field position.
Absolutely. Brand under center. I'm assuming that's number 19. It is. Got the outside. 19. Big run by Huckabee. Big run by Huckabee.
I guess they answered that question for us. They'll just get good field position by a solid run.
There's a flag on the play. That thing is coming back. Here's a replay. Looks like a block in the back or clip, perhaps. Huckabee just ran, and he took a hard hit out of bounds. It's coming back. Another break for the Wildcats. Let's see what the call is by the Zebras. Oh, and by the way, unlike the NFL, these are not replacement refs.
You're going to push it back in a holding. The holding's going to be accepted. Repeat, first down.
Awesome. You may not have heard that. There were 2 penalties on the play. The Wildcats will take the holding call. The other was a push in the back. Thought I saw that on the run. Wildcats will push them half the distance to the goal line. They started the play from the 13, so that's going to take them down to about the 6 or 7 yard line. Big break for the Wildcats because Huckabee had a huge gain on that play. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Lions. Wildcats trail 21-14. Farmington Hills Harrison with the ball, first and 17 from the 6-yard line. Back to pass is Brand. Long pass, he's overthrown his receiver, no play there.
They took a shot there, JR. They went for number 7. That was Garius Coleman. He went straight up the middle, and he had a few steps on the defenders, but that's going to be a tough pass to complete.
Well, no question. The great blocking by the offensive line, and late we started to get a little pressure, but the defenders were there, forcing him to make a perfect throw, and he just didn't get it done. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 17, ball on the 6-yard line. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Credit to Farmington Hill Harrison's quarterback there of showing patience and trusting his offensive line and waiting in that pocket and making that pass. It was incomplete, but he did show great patience there.
2nd and 17, handoff to number 32. He had a nice touchdown run earlier. Nice trip up there.
Number 32.
See if we can spot who that was.
Looked like that Kyle Reason made a big tackle there, just barely clipping his ankle, but stopping him.
I think it was Gianola. Either it was Reason or, yep, Reason it was. Nice job. Now here's a big play. Wildcats can force them to punt. It's 3rd down, 13. They have the ball on the 10-yard line. Wildcats can force a punt here. They can get a good field position. Try to move in for a score. Much to everybody's surprise, they've been mixing the pass and the run up quite well for the Wildcats on offense. So let's see what Harrison's got here, 3rd and 13. And a timeout by Harrison. A lot of confusion. We talked earlier about their discipline.
Harrison.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you of what you're seeing today. You're seeing students on the cameras, students bringing you this broadcast. They've had 3 hours of training, and they're just doing an outstanding job. We're very honored to be working with Oxford Community TV and the students to bring you this broadcast. Go to OCCTV.org for your schedule and upcoming programming on Oxford Community TV.
Dental Group of Oxford, Dr. Kabinski, Dr. Ferry, Dr. Hamby.
Also, October 20th, your Oxford Booster Athletic Booster Club is going to have a euchre tournament at the Post 108. If you want more information, go to oxfordboosters.com for ticket information.
So the Hawks are taking the field here for a 3rd and 13 deep in their own territory.
They got the ball marked on the 9-yard line. So like I said, this is a big play. This is a chance for the Wildcats to get right even with them. But certainly we've seen Harrison pull off some big plays.
No doubt about it, they're capable of the big play. Let's see what they got here.
Snap is good. Putting good pressure on the quarterback. Got him hemmed in. Flag on the play. That looked like a hold. Wildcats will deny that penalty. When you see a quarterback coming that way and you see that referee throw the flag, that's always a hold. Wildcats are, watch this. You'll see the hold out here on the left end.
We got holding.
Okay, here he comes.
Decline, 4th down.
Yeah, you can't see it in that picture, but it was definitely there. Wildcats decline the penalties, going to force a kick. The wind's picking up here a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is very close to turning ugly here. There's some rain showers in the area. That's Doppler JR radar for you. Back to receive the kick is number 28 for the Wildcats. That's Brennan Orr, fresh off of his shin injury. He's had an outstanding game tonight. Wildcats look like they're setting up return. Oh, and they can put pressure, and it's a terrible kick. It's an outstanding kick for the Wildcats. Look at Coach Raleigh Jr. down there jumping up big. That's what we're looking for. A nice break by the Wildcats.
Looks like the kicker might have injured himself there on that play.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly
Number
happened.
7 is
that almost went backwards.
Yeah, number 7 is definitely limping off the field. I don't know if he's the kicker. That's Coleman. Maybe we can see what happened on a replay. That's a huge. Here we go. Here's the replay. Let's see what happened. That was number 7 kicking the ball.
It looked like a clean effort there.
He saw a little pressure coming from his
Poor
right
kick.
side. So here we go. Wildcats with the ball. 1st and 10. Hand the ball off. Looks like Logan breaking some tackles. Running hard again, Liam Logan. That tandem of Logan and Reason have done a nice job in the backfield tonight.
I noticed from that replay that some lucky Oxford student was able to retrieve that ball. Very poor kick if it makes it to the stands.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 2nd down, 3-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7, ball on the 8-yard line. 3:25 to go, 3rd quarter. Wildcats with a break, trying to tie this ball game up. Wellington takes the snap, hands it to Reason. Reason's been running well. Got hit in the backfield by number 55. 55 has made some outstanding plays today for Harrison. That's Jake Slobin.
So with about 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Oxford's facing a 3rd and 7.
3rd down.
3rd and 7, but they're in 4-down territory. I think that they would probably go for it if it's reasonable. They got a great field goal kicker in Josh Nelson. So who knows, they might take the points.
Absolutely.
So let's just get the first
point,
down here and or run it in. Wellington under center to Reason. Nope, fakes it. Cuts it back inside, gets it all the way down to the 3-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down and 2 yards short of the end zone.
Jordan Austin.
Here.
Need 4th down and 2.
Okay. Wildcats with the ball, 4th down, ball on the 3, 2 yards. Looks like they need about a yard and a half to get the first down. They're going for it. 4th and 2, ball on the 3-yard line. This power running game has worked all night long. Let's see what happens. Wellington fakes the ball, runs outside. He's got a wide-open receiver in the end zone. Touchdown!
Huge
Wildcats,
play.
Kyle Anderson with the catch. The Wildcats, what a gamble on 4th down. That's putting the ball in your playmaker's hands. Number 10, Wellington. Great fake. Anderson ran a nice route and showed good hands catching that ball over a linebacker.
Very nice play there by Wellington to Anderson. Great play to the tight end. Had to be a perfect throw, and sure enough, it was. Put it right where it needed to be, and Anderson came down with it for the 6 points.
Big kudos to number 10, Wellington. He's out there, he's limping. You can tell he's obviously injured. And we got a late hit on the kicker. That's their kicker, number 7. He hit our kicker. But Josh Nelson, he's a soccer player. Soccer players are tough. They get up.
Well, battle of the kickers there for a little while.
We got roughing the holder, the holder. It recessed on the kickoff.
Well, that's another break for the Wildcats. Again, we talked
the
earlier
Oxford
about the
score.
scouting report, and it's starting to come to fruition now. Fruition, that's a big word for me, Jake. But it's
That
starting
was
to
a
come
very
to
excellent
fruition
choice of words
that
there.
they're undisciplined. They'll make mistakes, put pressure on them. They'll fold, and it's happening. So the Wildcats now, with that penalty, it's going to be assessed on the kickoff. So the Wildcats, instead of kicking from the 40, they're going to kick from the 45-yard line of Harrison, I believe.
Yeah, exactly what you were saying earlier about discipline, and it didn't seem like they were having any trouble, but like you said, now there's a little bit more pressure on them. It's a close ball game. Now they're starting to crack. They're starting to take these penalties that are just hurting them.
Well, and again, the Wildcats are showing their toughness. We talk about what Bud Raleigh football is all about here at Oxford. Pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. You wear the other team down. That's what you do. And when you keep hitting somebody, they get frustrated. And now it's happening. Number 7 is showing some guts on himself. He's back in the field. He was hurt earlier on that poor punt. Now don't be surprised if the Wildcats do a little trickery here because of the field position. Nope. They kick it away inside the end zone. They'll let him take the ball in the 20.
Hawks ball, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Look at those Wildcats. Every one of them, all 11 players ran through the end zone. We're all tied up, ladies and gentlemen. 21-21, 1:49 to go in the third quarter. The Wildcats have scored 14 unanswered points here in the second half. It's been a mixture of runs, passes, outstanding defense, turnovers, putting pressure on Harrison, and Harrison has not been able to answer.
With the athletic ability of these Hawks, Wildcats have no problem punting that out of the back of the end zone, giving them the ball at the 20-yard line.
Okay, here we go. Hawks, number 14, Brand. Hands the ball inside.
Number 18.
That's number
Remo
18
Luago,
running the ball.
carrier.
Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Luca Wago looks like was the
Tackle
runner.
maybe number 78, Piper Thaler.
Piper Thaler on the
Gain of
tackle.
4.
Wellington's getting stretched out on the sideline right now. I don't know if maybe he's cramping up. He's been taking some hits.
Well, and again, it was a humid day today, so Harrison with the ball, 2nd and 6. Hand the ball off to number 19, Huckabee. Huckabee's
Number 19, Eddie Huckabee, the
about
ball
5
carrier.
yards on the play, so he's going to be a yard
Making
short
the
of the
tackle,
first down.
number 21, Vincent Griffith. 3rd down and 1.
Vinny Griffith on the tackle. 3rd and 1. Well, here we go again. Wildcats can stop them here and force another kick. That momentum on offense. Crowd's getting into the game here. Calling for the defense to make a stop. Handoff, number 19, Huckabee. It's awful close. Looks like he got it.
Number 19,
You know, I
Eddie
think
Huckabee, the
Harrison
ball carrier.
looked at, little old Oxford. We'll go out
Stopped
to
by
the
the
blue
defensive
turf, and
line
we'll
of
go out
Oxford.
there and we'll give them a game, and, we'll do our business. We're 2-0. We're Harrison. And I think they've been surprised a little bit by the toughness of the
Official
Wildcats.
timeout.
Absolutely. It looked at one point like this game was, going very downhill quickly for the Wildcats, and maybe Farmington Hills Harrison got a little cocky.
First down for the Hawks.
Absolutely. When we were down 21 to
31 of
7
the
and
Hawks.
we had a fumble turnover, it looked like it could be, getting out of hand. But then an interception by Wellington, and really we've dominated play since that point.
You're absolutely right. We have, and they were able to get that first down there, but Oxford's defense has been shutting them down the majority of this half.
21-21, 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Harrison flags on the
Flag
play.
field.
That's typically an offensive penalty when they stop the play. Looks like a delay of game to me. Took too much time.
Red ball.
Well, the ball's dead. That's the problem. He just said it was a dead ball.
Well, you can't play with a dead ball.
No. This is Oxford Community TV bringing you Wildcats versus Farmington Hills Harrison.
Get it right, JR. You can't forget the Hills.
Trust me.
With a score.
In the third quarter.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. 14 unanswered points for the Wildcats here in the third quarter. 21-21 with 12 minutes to go in this contest.
So
We'll be
I'd
right
say-
back after this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the fourth quarter. The Wildcats and the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks are tied up at 21-21. Harrison with the ball, 1st and 15 on the 26-yard line. Winds are picking up. The weather's starting to get a little iffy, but we got 12 minutes to go. We should be just fine.
Please come to the press box. Christian and Nathan Horde, please come to the press box. Griffin would like to see you.
Nice job. Oh, we broke a tackle. Number 79, he throws it away. That was a great play, ladies and gentlemen. Caught us a little off guard, and we got a flag on the play. Again, we talked about their discipline.
Flag on the field.
So we'll see what the call is.
Seems like these Wildcats are just getting right under the Hawks' skin and really just causing them to make bad penalty after bad penalty.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan Brand did a nice job breaking some tackles and staying up on his feet. Then he threw the ball away, which is a good play, but he must have done something after that that caused they're picking up the penalty.
Flags waved off.
So what they were probably looking at was a intentional grounding, but they must have saw a receiver in the area. So still, now it's going to be 2nd down, 15. Nice play there by Brand, but again, great pressure by the defensive line by the Wildcats. Looked like Michael Traskey in on the putting some pressure on, as well as Sean Chavez. Straight ahead run.
Number 19.
With Huckabee, Eddie Huckabee from Brand.
Making the tackle.
6-yard gain. Tackled by Tusky. 6-yard gain, going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Make it 3rd and 9.
This is a big play for the Wildcats. Again, I don't think that Harrison is in a position to go for it on 4th down unless it's a real close play here. So the Wildcats want to try to keep them in.
So this is it. This is a big play here for the Wildcats. And like you said, they've basically controlled this game the entire second half and turned it around from a 21-7 game to a 21-21 with right now an opportunity to get the ball back.
Brand under center. Back to pass, quick throw, quick pass. A lot of pressure by the Wildcats. Brand breaks contain. He's being forced. He's not going to get the 1st down. Wildcats do an outstanding job on defense right there.
By number 27.
Guess who did that? Studenbach again. Watch this play. Good coverage on the defense. He breaks it, comes to the outside and walk. Here comes Studenbach. Runs him right out of bounds. What speed by number 27, Studenbach. And he's
it looked
a sophomore.
like he was going to have room to cut the corner there, and Studenbach, you're right, just caught right up to him and really forced him to gain nothing.
That's Studenbach. That's a sophomore out there making those plays for the Wildcats, having an impact in this game. Brennan Orr back to receive the kick. We got a flag in the play.
Really
It's a low line drive kick. Nobody's around it. Good job by the Wildcats to stay away from it. I think it's coming back.
Pretty well executed punt, though, for the Hawks.
There's a flag on the field.
Well, let's see what the flag is.
Nancy Skilling, could you please report to the press box?
Looks like.
Illegal procedure. Get 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
They're going to have to kick it again. Another break for the Wildcats. They had 5 men in the backfield. Harrison looked awesome in the first half. They didn't make any mistakes. They jumped out to a 21-7 lead. And the minute that they had that pass interception by Wellington, it seems like they've lost their confidence. They've lost their swagger, if you will. And the second half, they've made mistake after mistake after mistake. Yeah, they must have had to change their green shoes. Fields is back to kick. I don't think they want number 7 kicking again. Good kick, high, towards the end or out of bounds marker. Wildcats with the ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
With the re-kick after that penalty, they ended up gaining about 20 more yards. Field position.
That's a good call, Jake. 20-yard penalty right there. It wasn't 5, it was 20 because Wildcats would have had the ball inside the 20 on the first kick. Well, let's set it up. 10:33 to go left in the ballgame. Scores all tied up at 21-21. Wildcats have not been stopped in the second half. They've mixed the pass, they've mixed the run, and they've done a great job. They've got the ball on the 35-yard line and a first down. So Wellington looks over the D. Zach Adorn in the backfield. Reason with a carry off to the left side. Solid 4-yard gain on first down. Kyle Reason getting some early carry. First time I've seen him carry the ball this year. Looks pretty solid in the backfield.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's had some really huge plays in this game on both ends of the field.
His brother is at Hope University, doing some studies, got a football scholarship over there.
21-21 ball game.
10 minutes to go.
10-minute mark.
Adorn and Reason in the backfield. Adorn straight ahead. Look at that pile. That's Zach line. That's Prescott line. That's Zach Adorn right there. Pounding the rock, Oxford football style. Nice job, Adorn.
That's it, just there.
Look at Adorn. Watch this pile. He stopped. No, the pile's moving. Who's driving that pile? That's Adorn underneath there, pushing everybody. Nice job, Zach Adorn. And if they don't like it, he'll get the boxing gloves out and show them what for. First and 10, ball in the 46, 9:40 to go, fourth quarter, tie ball game. Reason, left side, 3-yard gain. You get the feeling the Wildcats are trying to set something up here.
I love it. This is right back to Oxford football.
Well, now look at number
ball,
55.
getting
Look
yards.
at 55 walking off the field. He looks wore out. He looks tired. And that's what I talked about earlier. This football team in Oxford is so well conditioned, they could play 6 quarters, 7 quarters if they had to. That gentleman is wore out. Now, he's given it his all, and I appreciate that and respect that. But Oxford is a very well-conditioned ball team. Wellington rolls out with the ball to his right. Tripped up.
Number 10.
Wellington wanted to throw the ball but thought better of it. He got a lot of pressure. So it's going to bring up. Look at Wellington.
Didn't like what he's seen here, and actually not too bad of a play. He maybe gained a yard on the play and didn't do anything he'd regret.
Third down, 9. Ball on the 48-yard line, 47. Wildcats have played an outstanding game on offense here in the second half. We'll see what happens here. 3rd and 9. Wellington, straight ahead. Nope, pitches it back. Ball's loose, on the ground. Harrison has it. The pitch was kind of late. Caught Logan off guard. So Oxford will turn the ball over at midfield. Timeout in the field. There's an injured Harrison player. It's number 7 again.
Not number 7's day. He keeps getting shooken up.
Yeah, he keeps getting shaken up, but he keeps staying in the ball game. Well, that was a late pitch by Wellington and caught Logan off guard. Wasn't able to corral it. So that's going to put the defense on their toes. 8:11 to go in the contest. Harrison at midfield. They've done good things when they've had the ball in good field position. Brand in the shotgun. Little swing, wide receiver screen. Nowhere to go. Wildcats.
Great tackle there by Gianola.
Gianola read the play right away. Marty was all over it. Kind of broke it up, and the rest of his teammates showed up to help. Loss of 3 on the play. That was a different wrinkle. We haven't seen that play today, and Gianola was ready for it. Marty Gianola popped on the scene last year as a sophomore or a junior. Was all over the field on the defensive side. Brand stays in the shotgun here. Back to pass. Good pressure up the middle. Throws the ball deep. Who's back there? Studenbach! Oh, and he can't bring it in.
That's broken up by number 27, Scott Stubenrock.
Studenrock,
So close by Studenbach. He
well,
had it, and the intended receiver was just all over him as soon
well,
as
the
he touched
intended
that
receiver
ball.
turned into a defensive player
Exactly.
and pulled down his arms and took the ball out of his hands. That's what his job's supposed to do. But Studenbach, and we're going to have to make sure we get the right pronunciation. There's absolutely no disrespect intended. He's had an outstanding ball game. In fact, he'd be my player of the game right now. But we'll get the pronunciation corrected if we're not doing it right now. But he had a great ball game.
Stubenrock.
Okay, here we go. Third down. Nice job by number 28. Good tackle right there that stopped the first down. That was Huckabee and Brennan Orr. So that's going to bring up. All right. Oh, again, the discipline problems that. We got some highlights of the dance team earlier at halftime for those of you that weren't able to see it. That's why you got to come out to a ball game. We got the dance team, we got the band, we got the cheerleaders. It's a great event here in Oxford every home game on a Friday night. Wildcats pushing Harrison backwards now, 3rd and 19, ball on the 41-yard line. Harrison got the ball, and they were at midfield on a fumble. 3 plays, and they went backwards 9 yards. 3rd down, 19 to go, ball on the 41, Harrison. Oh, they got movement on Harrison. Illegal procedure, false start, whatever you want to call it, they cheated.
They cheated. You're right, JR, and they just keep going the wrong direction, and things are starting to look pretty optimistic here for the Wildcats.
Well, and that's true Bud Raleigh, Oxford football. Wear you down, wear you down, wear you down, beat you in the second half. And certainly that's what the Wildcats have done. And, you know, kudos to our coaching staff for making adjustments at halftime. Harrison has mounted no offense after looking unstoppable in the first half.
Now here they are now with 3rd and 24.
3rd and forever, ball on the 36-yard line. Back to passes, Brand. He throws the ball. Wide open receiver up the middle, and it's off his hands. Brand threw the ball a little bit behind his intended receiver. He couldn't make the adjustment. Number 2 got his hands on it.
He catches
That's
that
Dorian
ball.
Fields.
It's still a 4th and 10. Nice idea.
Well, the Wildcats were back in prevent defense. They were ready for it. If he did catch it, I don't think he would have got the first down. So here's been one of the more exciting plays of the evening, the punt by Harrison. Brennan Orr back to receive the kick. Number 2, Dorian Fields to kick the ball. 6:40 to go. We're all tied up. Wildcats about to receive the ball again. Good snap, good kick. Nice job by Brennan Orr. Had a little problem fielding it. The ball was hung up there high, so he was trying to look before he caught it to run.
After a few bobbles, he just hopped on top of it and just to get clobbered by 2 Hawks.
Well, and that's the smart play. He
Definitely a smart play.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely wants to do that. Does not want to take a chance. So, Wildcats, now there's the good news. Their drives have taken 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes off the clock. They got a great field goal kicker, and they got 6 minutes and 30 seconds to hold on to the ball. So, let's see what the Wildcats can do here. Glacier Wellington gone the whole way. Straight ahead to number 45.
Yeah, I agree with you. Their ground and pound style football easily can take 6 minutes off the clock and put them in a chance where they can just end the game as the clock ticks to 0.
Zachadorn with a 2-yard run. Going to bring a 2nd and 8. Well, the Wildcats got to be real careful they don't get too conservative and too predictable here. They've moved the ball with a series of pass plays as well as the run. So they got to continue to do that. They got to shake it up. Of course, what do I know? I haven't been coaching for over 30 years, like the man in the yellow pants down there. I should say gold pants. So the referees are talking about where to go to dinner tonight. They heard about these great restaurants in town.
They might be considering Buffalo Wild Wings.
Since how they brought us all this nice food, I think that would be appropriate for them to go to the BW3s. Looks like there's a penalty or something on the play because they're talking to both teams here. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Oxford Community TV with the help of Oxford High School students bringing you the broadcast. Students are manning the cameras with only 3 hours of training. They've done an outstanding job all day long, all game long.
Still discussing something here. Now they're talking to Bud Rowley, Oxford's coach, and maybe they finally came to a conclusion.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with those kids on the sidelines. I think they were calling. So they're because the coaches are asking the students or the players to back up a little bit. So we're second down, 8 to go, ball on the 24-yard line, 6 minutes to go in the contest. Wellington, handoff to
Number
Reason.
32, Kyle Reason.
Reason gets the ball just short
ball
of the
carrier.
30. Going to bring up a third down and about 5. Logan on the tackle.
From earlier when this game was all offense, nobody was really shutting down on either side. It's turned into a defensive stand here in this fourth quarter, and they'd obviously like to capitalize here and get some first downs and work this ball, but we'll see what happens.
3rd and 5, ball on the 34-yard line. Wellington hands the ball off to Reason. Reason with some room over the left side. Reason gets the first down and more. They're trying to strip the ball, but Reason says no way. Well, maybe. Let's see.
From my angle, it looked like
Nope, they're pointing him
Farmington
down,
Hills.
saying he was down. His forward momentum was stopped, so there is no turnover on the play. That's a first down Wildcats at the 45-yard line. Now, you got to give it to Reason for running hard. But, you know, once you get that first down and those guys are just tugging, maybe the smart thing to do is just to go down, because if you stay on your feet and you got enough guys tugging, that's going to be hard.
Let's take a look at this
Here's
replay.
the replay. See, his forward momentum is still going. It stopped, and now they're pulling the ball out, and they pull it out when he's down.
Okay,
So,
yep, absolutely. You're
absolutely
right
good
there.
call by the Stripes.
They made the right
Wellington
call.
to Reason. Reason, nice job tucking in behind number 75. That's Sparks. And it'll look like number 78, Piper Thaler, on that right side. Got a nice 2-yard gain on the play. Once again, the clock continues to run at 4:30. Fourth quarter, all tied up. Wildcats need about, I've seen the kicker, I've seen Josh Nelson kick. They need about 20 more yards to be in realistic, 25 more yards to be in realistic field goal. Okay, we got to stop at your play here. I don't know what that was all about, but oh, okay, we got equipment timeout so they could exchange players. Wildcats were hustling the ball to the line. 4:25 to go. Wellington to Reason. Reason stacked up just as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Right in the middle of the Big O. Look how good that looks on TV. Doesn't that look awesome? Again, we'd like to thank the Turf Committee for all their efforts, and I'm sure everybody's read in the paper about the gentlemen that have risked their own homes for this field, and we certainly appreciate and respect everything that they did. And want to get everybody in the community behind it, get this thing paid for and moving forward. 3:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats 3rd and 6. Fumbled the snap. Looks like the Wildcats fell on the ball. But that's going to bring up a 4th down, so we're going to have to kick the ball the position that we're in.
With just under 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Well, the Wildcats don't want to turn it over here at midfield. If they can get a decent punt here out of Mr. Nelson, I'm assuming he's the punter. I'm not sure for sure. But if they can punt the ball and get him pinned back, number 44 is our kicker. That's Wesley Maskell. Wesley has done a nice job this year. Good snap here is very important. Real nice snap. Oh, Maskell drops the ball, gets up, kicks the ball, Goes nowhere. Wildcats better get on it. Well, the snap was a little low. Wesley had a hard time handling it. Tried to pick it up and get the kickoff. Here we go.
Yeah, let's take another look here.
Snap is decent. Wesley just
Bobbled it again.
bobbled
He's
it a
still
little
trying
bit.
to kick.
Tried to kick the ball. That means he's free game at that point. Now here, we got all those Harrison players trying to pick it up. If Wildcats don't tackle them, they can advance the ball. So Wildcats need to get the defense to stop them one more time. 2:50 to go.
Farmington Hills Harrison section getting loud over there. on their
That's
side
the
of
first
field.
break they've had in the second half. Brand hands the ball off, inside handoff
Number 19,
to
Eddie Huckabee, the ball.
Eddie Huckabee. So now the Wildcats find themselves in a little bit of trouble because if you watch the extra points that Harrison has kicked, it looks like their field goal kicker has some pretty good range. 2:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. Brand comes up under center. Huckabee in the backfield. Huckabee with the ball going over the right side. A lot of cats over there. Nice job.
19, Eddie Huckabee, the ball carrier.
Good job by Wildcat defense to contain Huckabee on that play. Always a threat for the big play.
Third down.
Able to shut him down.
Vinny Griffith with the tackle. 1:50 to go. Fourth quarter tie ball game. Big play here. Third down and 3. Wildcats could force Harrison's hands here with a good stop. Brand looks over the D. Got a full house backfield back there. Fakes the ball to Huckabee. Throws it. Overthrows the receiver. Kind of a risky play there. They've been moving the ball on the ground. They're 3rd and 3. Maybe they just feel like they can get this 4th and 3 if they decide to go for it.
That's a good point too, JR. Ryan Brand, that's the second open receiver he's missed today. Unfortunate for him, as the play developed well and had the opportunity to make a big gainer there, at least the first down and then some. Just missed his receiver.
Absolutely. He's been a little inaccurate with his throw. Now here's your ball game, really. This is 4th and 3, 1 minute, 25 seconds to go. Harrison gets the first down here. They can run the clock out. Harrison fakes the ball. Good pressure by the Wildcats. And the ball is dropped by the receiver. Great pressure by Marty Gianola, number 17 on the quarterback. He threw it low and the receiver couldn't bring it in. So now the Wildcats find themselves 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. They get the ball on the 30-yard line. They got a field goal kicker that can kick the ball from 35 to 40 yards. So they need to move the ball here. They've got time. They've got
20 seconds.
3 timeouts. And remember, high school football, get a first down, clock stops. So 120 is an eternity.
That will definitely be in their benefit in this situation, having 72 yards to go.
1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line. Wildcats trying to make a fourth quarter comeback or fourth quarter victory. Logan breaks to the outside. Tackled high, gets out of bounds. Nope, they keep the clock running. 1:10 to go. Wildcats look like they may be content to take this into overtime because they're not hustling up at all. Down to 55 seconds.
2nd down and 7.
Yeah, it looks like the Wildcats are just, unless something breaks, they're just going to play for overtime. Straight ahead into the line, 35 seconds to go. Timeout,
Tackle made by number 50.
probably by Harrison.
Ryan screaming.
Timeout. Harrison.
Yep, timeout by Harrison. Harrison's trying to force them to get in a 4th down situation so they kick the ball again.
Exactly.
They know Masco had a hard time on that last kick. They feel like they might be able to get good field position.
By the following 300 Club Troop members.
Yeah, as Oxford's playing conservative, thinking overtime. Harrison's over there thinking we still have a chance at this ball game.
Absolutely. Well, what a great ball game for the students to to come out and record and to use Oxford Community TV. And, again, kudos to Oxford Community TV. The cameraman, the legend in his own mind, Bill Service, was willing to let those young whippersnappers have the TV camera, and they've done a nice job. Now, that doesn't mean that Bill's going on the shelf, I want you to know. Bill's fast recovering from some knee surgery. Great job. Glad to see him up and around. He's not ready to go down there with the dance team yet, but
Not quite, but he'll be there in a matter of time.
but he will be at the Friday Fish Fry at Post 108 if you're interested. 3rd down 7, ball on the 31-yard line, 37 seconds to go. Wildcats need a first down here. Straight ahead running. Looks like Reason. No, Logan. Going to bring up a 4th down and 3.
So Harrison does use another timeout with 31 seconds left.
You see the clock there, ladies and gentlemen. 21-21 is our score. There's about 30 seconds left in this contest. Oxford finds themselves in a 4th down situation with 3 to go. Looks like they're going to punt the ball away. Ladies and gentlemen, if this ball game goes into overtime, unless the things have changed in the last couple of years, I don't believe they have, take a short break, about 5 minutes, line the two teams up. The one team will get the ball on the 25-yard line. They'll get first down, and they'll get the opportunity to score. The other team will then get the ball on their 25-yard line and get the opportunity to match them. The first team that doesn't match is the first team that scores and stops the other team from matching is the winner. So, okay, let's get a good snap, good hands. Nice job that time by Masco. Got the kick away, nice. Wildcats got him surrounded. Well, there's going to be 19 seconds left to go for Harrison to run a couple plays. Now,
12
like I
seconds
said,
off the clock on that kick there. I don't know if it was wise for the receiver there to try to dance around for limited yards there.
well, trying to break a play. The Wildcats, they've still got some work to do here to force overtime. The bottom line is the clock stops on a first down. So 19 seconds is a lot longer than you think. Plus, if they can run the ball and get out of bounds. So Wildcats defenders got to keep them in front of them and keep them in bounds. Harrison has no timeouts left.
Harrison, not a team afraid to take a shot.
There's the play. There's a first down. 13 seconds to go, and they got a good kicker.
Almost too easy there for Harrison. Just right over the middle, over the top,
Well,
wide open, number 2 there.
That's Dorian. And
Yep, Dorian Fields.
14
easy
back
catch.
to throw. Throws it into the end zone. And it's dropped.
Just out
What
of
a
his
break
reach.
for the Wildcats. The receiver made a great move on the ball, and it went right through his hands, number 16. So we got 2 Harrison receivers in the area. Ball went right through one of their hands. Stops the clock with 3 seconds to go, so Harrison's going to have one more opportunity to get into the end zone. Big break for the Wildcats there because I thought that ball was going to be caught.
As that play was developing, it definitely seemed like it was catchable, or at least there was going to be a play on the ball.
Well, when Brand earlier in the game had a couple of missed throws, these last 2 throws have been very nice. So Wildcats need to stop them here. 3 seconds to go. Brand in the shotgun. Getting some pressure. Throws the ball into the end zone. Overthrows. Intercepted by the Wildcats. Might as well try to run it out. Just don't fumble it. There you go. That's number 28 for the Wildcats. Intercepting the ball, protecting the lead. That's Brennan Orr. Fresh off that shin injury. So watch Orr. He's basically playing center field here.
He's just going to throw it up here, see
And
if
the
he can get a
receiver
bobble.
fell down. Orr's thinking about it right here. What the heck? I might as well come out.
Yeah, see if he can take it 105 yards.
So here we go. We got overtime. Each team will get the ball on the 25-yard line, get an opportunity to score. So let's see what happens. 5 minutes. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The students' first game is an overtime thriller with Harrison. So, first thing is they don't get it on 25, they get it on the 10, but it remains the same. The other team will get the chance to tie the game up. Oxford on offense, hands the ball to Reason. Reason hurdles some blockers and gets all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Nice pickup on that first play there in overtime.
Well, the beautiful thing about getting that kind of yardage on the first play is it opens you up to run and pass, keeps the defense off balance. So nice job there by the Wildcats to get a 4-yard gain. Good hard running by number 32 Reason. Leaped over some blockers that were in front of him. Got a 4-yard gain.
So, JR, if this did come down to a 4th down scenario, they can elect to take a field goal.
Yes. And then they can't let Harrison score a touchdown. Reason breaking tackles. Down to the 3.
There it is, positive momentum.
Well, yeah, that's what happens is whatever we do, if we get 3, Harrison has to match us or beat us.
Okay.
So obviously you get a touchdown, and then after you do it 2 times, on the 3rd time, you have to go for 2 on the touchdown. So it won't last forever, and thank God it won't because the rain is like right around the corner here. 3rd and 3, ball on the 3-yard line, inside the 3. Logan in the backfield, power backfield. Logan with the carry, hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Comes up just short, it seems.
Well, you are down inside at the 1. You're in overtime.
I think they go for it.
Well, they don't think about it. They're going. They wasn't even thinking about it. Coaching staff down on the sidelines trying to get this crowd up. They need to get pumped up. This isn't the ball game, but it's a big play right here for sure. They have got to get it in the end zone. Oh, what a great run! What a great run! Liam Logan would not be denied. Push the pile. Liam Logan, what a great job keeping the feet moving and push the pile into the end zone in overtime.
Just pure effort and determination there by Logan.
Double
Didn't
L's.
look like he was going to get it, and he just kept pushing and pushing until he's seen 2 arms up in the air.
Absolutely, and let's give it to the offensive line. They kept generating. They kept pushing. They would not be denied. They have come back from a 21-7. Here it is. Here it is. Look at Logan. He stopped. He's 2 yards short. And look at that offensive line pushing. 78. Gets in the back. That's Piper Thaler, and he just shoves him in the end zone. Wildcats need to convert here. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Nice job, Josh Nelson. And you see he's got a strong leg if we need it. So nice job by the Wildcats. Now
here's what
scenarios like this. Absolutely, Harrison has scored a touchdown. They fumble, they don't get in the end zone, ball game, game, set, match. Wildcats
they do
win.
get a touchdown. They could still elect to go for 2 for the win, which makes it interesting.
They could go for the win for 2. They don't make that, they lose. So absolutely, we saw that a couple, was it a year ago? One of the teams we played went for 2 late in the game and beat the Wildcats by, they elected to not tie the game up. They went for 2 for the win.
Yep.
So here we go, Harrison. Their first possession in overtime. And it looks like we got a timeout by the Wildcats. What an exciting ball game. And once again, I'd like to compliment those young students. I don't know if they can hear me, whether they got headsets, but they have done an outstanding job. They haven't missed a beat. And look at the rain. Now, is that a break for the Wildcats? Because it wasn't raining when we had the ball.
You're right, and so this Hawks team, they're not afraid to throw the ball. This makes it a little bit more interesting. They had Fields and Coleman both lined up outside wide, so maybe they did have a plan to throw it, and we'll see if the coaches change their mind here.
Absolutely, and once again, the students, you've got 2 outstanding people at Oxford Community TV that you can learn from. Bill Service on the camera side and Diamond Jim Hughes on the audio side. So You guys, you learn from them, you talk to them, and you'll be better for it, I guarantee it. So here we go. This ain't fourth quarter, this is fifth quarter, overtime. Wildcats and Hawks. Hawks with the ball, their first possession in overtime. Yes, big hit right there by Marty Gianola. Marty Gianola having a ball game.
Big time tackle there by Gianola, just stopping him from gaining any yards there.
Well, you talk to Marty, he's an intense kid. He wrestles. He has really come of age in his senior year here. He's a captain on this team, and plays like that are the reason why. He read it. He made a sure tackle on Eddie Huckleby, who's had an outstanding game.
Huckleby's been almost
run for
impossible
200
to stop.
yards. Okay, it's going to be second down.
Rain's coming down. It's not stopping these fans from cheering. Everybody's excited.
Second down. They must get in the end zone. Hand off to Huckleby over the right side. He's turned inside by Marty Gianola, and the rest of his Wildcat teammates are there. Huckleby down to the 5. Going to bring up a 3rd and goal. Brennan Orr, but the guy that made that play was 17. He turned him inside. Did not give him the outside, cut him off.
So 2 more chances here for the Hawks.
Hawks with the ball on the 6-yard line. Wildcats have already scored in overtime. They hold the lead 28-21. Hawks come to the line of scrimmage. The rain is coming down. It's a light rain, nonetheless. Brand fakes the ball to Orr, to 19. Wide open, broken up by number 21. Is that Skilling?
Almost.
No, that's
picked
Vinny
off.
Griffith. He knocked it down. Vinny Griffith.
He holds onto that ball, and it's game over. So close.
Well, here it is. 4th down, 6 to go. Wildcats stop them. They win. Harrison
Fans on their
gets in.
feet.
We still got a chance. Fans are up. What fans are? There ain't nobody left this field. Everybody's still here. Here comes Harrison. 4th
Student
and 6.
section is going crazy. Rain or shine, they'll have a good
This
time.
is the play here. 4th and 6. Harrison must get in the end zone on this play. Back to throw. 14 throws the ball wide open. Looked
There.
like a pick play. Could have been a
There
penalty.
he was, Dorian Fields again. He made the big reception to put him in range last time, and he just got wide open on the outside there. It was just a missed assignment.
No, it looked like a pick play to me. It looked like
play.
2 Oxford defenders ran into each other because 2 offensive receivers came close. But here's the deal. It's raining. The ball's slippery. They've got to make a good snap. They got to make a good hold, and he's got to make a good kick. We've already seen 2 crazy kicks tonight. Number 7 for them, 44 for us on punts.
This is true, JR.
And that ball is slippery. I tell you, the Harrison guys, look at their heads. They're down. They're tired. So they're going to call their timeout here. But they have got to make a good snap. They've got to make a good catch. They've got to make a good hold. And then he's got to get a good plant and kick the ball.
In this same situation, I've actually seen Oxford side call a timeout to try to psych out the kicker and successfully happen.
Well, here's what I think. I think the kids are over there telling Coach, let's get 2. Let's end this thing right now. So that may be their game plan. I don't know. But it's certainly something that they had to think about. So here we go.
Let's see what they decide to do here.
Nope, they stay in kick formation. They must get this ball through the uprights. Snap is good, hold is good, and it is good. Penalty on the play. Looks like the Wildcats might have hit the kicker.
85.
Or they're pointing.
There's a flag on the field.
They're pointing at the Harrison player. Maybe that kick isn't good. Let's see what they say here. Well, this has certainly been a crazy ball game. Very entertaining. I'd like to thank Oxford Community TV for bringing it to you. Illegal procedure. That kick is no good. Unbelievable. Now he's got to do it again, and I believe that's a 10-yard. No, they don't mark. They're not marking it off. Yeah, they did. They marked it back 5 more yards.
Yep.
He's got to do it again. Now it's a little bit trickier. Okay, it looks like there might be procedure again. The kicker didn't even have the tee down. Well, it certainly is a crazy ending in this ball game in overtime. Wildcats were pointing at Harrison.
There's another
Harrison
5-yard
was
penalty. This becomes a very hard.
It becomes a difficult kick. Yeah, it makes it a 32-yard kick. Well,
his first effort was a very solid kick. Seemed like he could easily do an extra 5 or 10 yards. But then again, the pressure, the rain, it is very difficult.
I'm sure number 85 is out there thinking about it. So let's see what the call is.
Got encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
All right, well, they get their
Retry.
kick back. They're 5 yards back on the procedure. Wildcats jumped. Still, ball's getting wetter. Field's getting slipperier. How about some blue turf magic, Bill? Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good.
No flags this time.
No
We're gonna
flags.
get another effort here by the
So now we
Wildcats.
go into overtime number 2.
Zach Moss.
We get to do it again.
Now we'll be going into double overtime.
What an exciting ball game. Wildcats found themselves down 21-7 at the half. On the verge of going down 28-7. Glacier Wellington with an interception. Wildcats drove the ball back in for a touchdown. At that point, made it 21-14. Stopped them on defense again. Got into the end zone, 21-21 at the end of 3. No scores in the fourth quarter. And here in overtime, both teams have scored a touchdown. Just an exciting ball game. The crowd is still packed. Nobody is left.
So this time Harrison gets the first effort.
Absolutely. So we'll get to match them. 19 with the ball.
Number 19.
Running hard into the
Eddie
line.
Huckabee, the ball carrier.
Huckabee. Tackled by the entire defensive line, I think, for the Wildcats. And you know, look at Harrison's movements. They're tired. They're moving slow. Wildcats are jumping. They're still upbeat.
I agree with you 100%. You can see
Second
the
and goal
fatigue.
from
You
the
can
8.
see the Hawks becoming lethargic almost, and there's just not that spark there was in this first half that you've seen from these guys.
Huckabee in the backfield. Brand barking out the signals. Handoff. Huckabee right up the middle. Now, again, I don't ever like to double, call out coaches, but it seems to me that they had all the luck in the world running wide in the first half of this ball game, and for whatever reason, Farmington Hills Harrison is trying to pound the ball down our throats. It ain't going to happen here. So maybe they beat us around an end, but they're not going to jam it down our throats. So there's it's going to bring up a third down, goal to go. Now in the past, they went to a pass play here. Play action roll. Play action and they're rolling. Good coverage by the Wildcats and nearly intercepted. Oh,
Does he get a hand
Wildcats,
on it?
no catch. Off the Wildcats' hands, bounced around like a
Very
pinball.
nearly got underneath it right there.
That was very close.
After 3 or 4 bounces, it did look like he almost made a play on that ball.
Well, I'm sure that here's
Let's
the
take a look.
replay.
Who is this, Todd Moore?
Wildcats right here tip the
1,
ball.
2.
2. And the ball
Okay,
tip
it did
of
hit
the
the
ball.
ground.
Okay,
That
here it
was-
is, fourth down.
Dude,
They have got to get a score. They're going for the field goal here. So then the Wildcats have to match or beat them. Snap is good, placement's good, kick is good. So now, Wildcats get in the end zone with a touchdown. It is their ball game. And quite frankly, Farmington Hills Harrison has not stopped them the second half.
JR, I'm actually very surprised they did elect to kick a field goal there.
Well, they had to get a score, Jake. They can't, count on having to stop because then the Wildcats can just line up, kick field goal, and game over.
Absolutely, I agree.
So-
I understand. At the same time, they must be really confident in their defense and stopping these Wildcats right now because their offense has been on fire.
Wildcats need to put it in the end zone here. You know, as well as they've run the ball, maybe a quick play action pass to then roll it out to number 17, Marty Gianola. How fitting would that be? There's Logan. Logan cuts it up the middle, gets it all the way down to inside the 4-yard line. Liam Logan. Look at how fresh the Wildcats are. Look how fired up these cats are. And Harrison Hawks, well, the Hawks seem to be grounded.
Second and goal from the 5.
Somebody's clipped their wings. Shall I continue? Oh, okay.
Continue, please.
Farmington Hills Harrison, 2-0 on the season, coming in one of the outstanding teams in the OAA. Second and goal, ball on the 4.5-yard line, handoff, straight ahead, pushing, bowling, touchdown, victory, Wildcats!
Game over.
Touchdown, victory, Wildcats, Liam Logan on the carry. Game, set, match. Wildcats win in double overtime. Last year, they beat the unbeatable Lake Orion Dragons. This year, they beat the unbeatable Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks. The blue turf, you don't come to our house. Nice job, Oxford Wildcats. Look at that team. The student body is charging onto the field. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. I'm JR, he's Jake. These kids did an outstanding job on the cameras. Congratulations, Oxford Wildcats. Winners, 34-31 in double overtime. Here's the final touchdown again. Liam Logan won't be denied. He's pushing, he's pushing. He's in the end zone. He smells victory for the Wildcats. Holy, as Harry Carey would say, holy cow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for Oxford Community TV, the staff here at Oxford Student TV, I'd like to say thank you again. Jake, what'd you think of this ball game?
Just unbelievable. Awesome effort by the Wildcats. They stuck in there, really wore out the Hawks, and now they're walking away as the victors.
You said it. They wore the Hawks out. The Hawks had their head down the entire second half. Wildcats didn't. So we're going to sign off here, ladies and gentlemen, once again. What an exciting victory for the Wildcats. 34-31 in double overtime over Farmington Hills Harrison. Good night, everybody.